This excerpt was taken from our Appetite for Destruction interview with Micajah Ryan. A link to the entire interview can be found in the description. The sound quality on this one is not great. Micajah has MS. He's in a wheelchair. So please be cool in the comments. Did you do some work on lies, or was that just all kind of part of all these sessions?
Oh, no. It was, they came back in and did
Patience?
Patience was recorded at take one, and that was, so were a lot of other songs that didn't make the record. There was some very odd songs didn't make the record.
Those were completely different sessions, huh?
Completely. They went out on the road, they finished the record, went out on the road, and then 2 or 3 months after they'd gone out on the road, Mike called and booked a weekend, a long weekend, to do some acoustic B-sides. And because I think the record was just starting to begin to, they were seeing inklings of it taking off. So they wanted to make sure they were ahead of the curve on it. And Geffen wanted to make sure they were ahead of the curve. So Mike booked a long weekend to record acoustic B-sides. And I think the only thing that came out of those sessions was Patience. But that was the hit off of it.
Of course, yeah. What an unbelievable song. And were you there for the recording of Patience?
Yes, I was. I was also there for the video. I was in the video. I'm sitting, there's 3 of us. There's Mike Klink, me, and the other assistant, Jimmy. The guy with the mullet in the middle of the 3 guys, the guy in the middle with the mullet, that's me. So.
Very nice. Sporting the mullet, too.
I didn't have a mullet when I walked in that day. And when I came in, they sat me down in a barber chair and started chopping my hair. It's like, what are you doing? Like, no, we have to cut your hair. So they gave me a mullet. They gave Jimmy a mullet, too. So.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
What was that about?
I don't know. They thought it was the hip look.
Unbelievable. Anything stand out about Patience? Recording that song?
Axl, because of the setup at Take One, we didn't really have an ISO booth. When the whole band was there, we didn't have an ISO booth for Axl to sit in to sing. So he had to stand in the mic locker, which had a solid corridor. And so he couldn't see the band at all. So when he recorded that vocal, and I don't really know how he did it because it's amazing how he did it, but he could not see the band at all when they recorded that song. And so if you listen to that song, you'd swear they were in the same room together, but they weren't.
And is that done like really quick, the recording of that song?
Yeah, I mean, the basic part of it was done. The basic tracks in it were done pretty fast. Then I think some guitar solos. We had to do some guitar solos. And then we had some background vocals we had to do. And I think all of us, including me, went and did the backup vocals for Patience.
One thing I forgot to ask you on Appetite was Slash using Les Paul.
Yes.
And he played the Les Paul the entire time?
Yep, he sure did.
And you recall what Izzy played? What kind of guitar?
Yeah, it was an ES-135. It's a single cutaway, semi-hollow body guitar with pickups like a Les Paul on it. So there's this Les Paul-ish sound, but it's got this weird kind of sustain that the Les Paul doesn't have. So.
And Izzy played that through the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So final question, when you reflect on the Appetite for Destruction recording sessions, what do you remember most?
This record kind of came at me like a truck driving really fast. And I was kind of bowled over by it. It was such a powerful record, but at the same time, I didn't really get how great it was. You know, I should have been able to listen to it and go, that's freaking awesome. You know, but for some reason I didn't get that. To me, it was just the guys hanging out, singing the songs. I don't know how to describe it. It's another day's work when you're doing a record like that. I've made a couple records like that where it's another day's work. You don't realize that that there's greatness there. With me, and I think with all other engineers, it's just kind of going from one job to the next. I was looking to pay the bills for my family, for my wife and kids. So for me, the more work I could get, the better off I liked it. So to me, that's really where my focus was, to take care of my family. Though I worked on some classic records, I never really realized it, I guess. Slash kind of set the table for Appetite for Destruction for me. The way he was so serious and so earnest about what he did, and really loved what he was doing. That, to me, that really set the table. He wasn't there talking about chicks. He wasn't talking about dope. He wasn't talking about. He was there to do guitars, and that's it.